Hey coach, I want to get started in real estate investing, but I'm broke. What can I do? The answer might surprise you. Hey everybody, Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach. I hope you're having an awesome day. Okay, so I'm going to say this and I want you to just take this to heart. You don't want to negotiate from a place of weakness as much as you can hope to. If you're broke, you have to get to a place where you're at least financially stable first. If you're bleeding $1,000 a month in cash, it's going to be really, really hard to negotiate your way into a real estate deal where you're not operating from a place of scarcity. So first and foremost, you got to get to a place where you're at least not bleeding cash every single month. So let's assume that you've got the bleeding stopped, you cut off all the things that you really don't need, and I'm talking about everything that you absolutely do not need. I mean, once you've got food, water, and shelter covered, that's like the absolute basics. Then we can actually start talking about building a real estate business. But until then, you've got to get really, really serious about things that you don't need and things that you do. Okay, so remember that your business is just an extension of you. So if you go into this like a financial mess or, an emotional mess, guess what? Your business is kind of going to reflect that. So you don't want to negotiate from a position of weakness, but you also can't go into it with a scarcity mindset. Now, the other thing is you've got to invest in the piece of real estate that matters the most. Now, what piece of real estate am I talking about? It's this piece of real estate right here. If you can get this right, everything else will start to fall into place. So when I start talking about identifying your fastest path to cash, before we do that, we're going to go back to the VIP method, the Vision Infrastructure Process method that I wrote about in the Time Wealthy Investor. Now, for those of you who have heard this before, bear with me because there's some of you who haven't. But the Vision Infrastructure Process method is really about a business. It's a business model. Vision is about what you want to accomplish, not your business, not like you want 100 rental units, because I promise you probably don't. You can probably get to a much better lifestyle with a lot fewer units. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that you want to lay on the beach rubbing cocoa butter on your belly for 2 months out of the year. That's your vision. That's what you're trying to get to. That's ultimately what you want to do. The infrastructure and process piece of the VIP method is really, that's the system part. That's what delivers your vision to you. It's nothing more than just a vessel. So now that we've got that straight, the vision piece is really, really important for you to understand and make sure you have that clear, because let's just say, for argument's sake, I just want you to have a vision clear for what you want to establish in the next 6 months. What do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months, and what's the fastest path to cash to help deliver that? All right, for some of you who have a job that you can't stand, and that's the whole reason you want to get into real estate in the first place, it might be actually doing more of the thing that you hate. That might be picking up extra hours at your current job. Is that your fastest path to cash? Working overtime, picking up extra hours. Now, here's why I talked about vision. Keep in mind, you're going to have some extra cash laying around, and you're going to be super tempted to spend it on nonsense, like that Bon Jovi commemorative coffee table, even though that you've always wanted it. But here's why it's important to have a vision for what you're trying to accomplish. Because let's face it, temptations are always going to come up, and that's what's going to keep you stuck right where you're at. Remember, you have to invest this real estate first, particularly mindset, before you invest in other real estate. Now, for those of you who might be out of work, that might mean doing something else, doing something for someone else, solving problems for someone else. Is there lawn mowing, gutter cleaning, power washing, exterior painting, yard cleanup, mulch laying, envelope stuffing, or phone answering? Anything that you can do, anything. Get creative in terms of problems you can solve for someone else, and the money will follow. Remember, money is nothing more than the reward for solving someone else's problem. So what problems can you solve for someone else? Can you watch someone else's children for a few extra bucks? Can you cook well? And could you prepare some meals for a busy person who could then freeze them and eat them later in the week for a few extra bucks, right? Okay, so let's get to some real estate specific stuff. Is someone looking to sell a property that you could put under contract or even put under an option to purchase that you could then wholesale to someone else? Now, you might be thinking, well, that sounds great. I might be able to find a seller, but who the hell would want to buy it? Okay, well, good question. Well, how about anyone that recently purchased real estate from your county's most recent tax sale? If they're buyers of real estate, especially if they're an LLC, chances are they are institutional buyers. They want to buy. They're looking to buy. I say institutional. I'm just saying that's the business they're in. They're not doing anything else. That's a good person for you to reach out to. Easily found on your Secretary of State's website from your state, and you can get in contact with them very, very easily. How about someone that's a current landlord that's looking to get out of the business? Well, if a landlord just had a string of evictions back in last month, do you think that they might be motivated to get out of the business? Maybe. It would at least be worth reaching out to them. Maybe they'd be willing to let you take over the properties in exchange for doing some work where you get a contract for the deed. Let's say, for argument's sake, that you're an Uber driver. Do you know what to look for how to spot a vacant home? Are you reaching out to those homeowners and asking them what their intentions are to do now that it's vacant? If they've got a vacant home, they've got a problem because it's not making money. What conversations are you having with them? What conversations are you having with your passengers that will bring your notch from 0 to 1? Do you have business cards that you can hand out saying that you are a professional real estate investor? Look, there are many ways to make money. There's many ways to make money in real estate. In general, it's all about solving someone else's problem. If you approach life and your business looking through that lens, focusing on solving other people's problems, I promise you the money will follow. My name is Mark Dolfini, Landlord Coach. If you found this helpful, go ahead, subscribe, do all the stuff that you know how to do already. I don't need to tell you that. But if you are looking for more deeper information like this, consider a membership, landlordcoach.com/members for access to all sorts of actionable stuff, like the 6-module mini course on how to buy your next or your first rental property. And you're going to learn things like how to be a desirable borrower, learning all about credit, the stuff that even the lenders don't know, how to work with private lenders, how to find and fund the best deals, and how to be sure you're analyzing them properly so you make money and don't just create a horrible job for yourself. Okay, so that's all I have. Go landlordcoach.com/members. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, if you don't place a value on your free time, someone else will. But most important, there is no amount of money that will make time irrelevant. We'll see you next time.